Rockies get together for the first in a 3-game series. The Dodgers trying to continue their perfect start to the home schedule after sweeping the Washington Nationals over the weekend. Welcome inside, Joe Davis or Hershiser. The Dodgers at 8-2 through 10 games, the best record in baseball. They get Mookie Betts back tonight.
It's going to be great to have Mookie Betts back. You know, when you have a guy like this at the top of your order, the Dodgers are one of the best in baseball at starting innings off and having rallies. Well, Mookie does that at the leadoff hole. The other thing he does is he educates the rest of the lineup because you can't pitch him any one way, so they get to see a pitcher's whole arsenal right away. That helps the offense tremendously.
All right, so Mookie's back in the lineup leading off. Justin Turner not in there tonight. For the reason why, here's Kirsten.
Thanks, Joe. As you mentioned, Justin Turner is not in the lineup tonight, so Edwin Rios will be playing at third base. I asked Dave Roberts ahead of the game what led to this decision, and he said with the day off yesterday, he wanted to give Justin Turner just 2 days in a row to fully recover, to then finish out this series and be ready for the weekend against the Padres.
All right, Kirsten, the thing that's been carrying the Dodgers lately has been the pitching, and Trevor Bauer, both starts that he's made in a Dodger uniform, he's had 10 strikeouts. Tonight he makes his first at home.
He's been dominant against these Rockies in his first start, and who knows how he's going to attack them today. Before it was cutters and sliders, but he's got a big enough arsenal that he can go to other weapons here at sea level.
As these teams get together for already the second time this season, what a weird series it was at Coors Field as the Dodgers took 3 of 4 to open the year. You had a home run that turned into a single. You had a cat on the field. All kinds of crazy stuff. Fountains going off, leading to a delay. What does this series have in store? We'll find out tonight on Sportsnet LA. Field already this season, and now they welcome the Rockies into Dodger Stadium, where they've won 19 of the last 25 meetings between the teams. And in this span, they've averaged better than 7 runs per game against Colorado. Joe Davis, or Hershiser, Kirsten Watson on a high 50s night in Los Angeles. The Dodgers take the field ready for game 1 of this 3-game series, looking for their 4th consecutive win. Bud Black's lineup here for game 1 looks like this, with Garrett Hampson to lead it off. Ryan McMahon, the second baseman, hits second, and it's Trevor Story who's started to heat up lately. Charlie Blackmon, C.J. Chrome, and Raimel Tapia through the heart of the lineup. Josh Fuentes at third base, and Elias Diaz does the catching for Antonio Senzatella. Trevor Bauer in his 3rd start in the Dodger uniform. He struck out 10 in each of the first 2, and now the Santa Clarita native who grew up coming to games here, sitting in the pavilion, listening to Vin Scully on the earbuds, sitting there with his dad, dreaming of one day pitching for the Dodgers. He, for the first time, gets to pitch here in a Dodger uniform.
Looks like he's breaking out a new glove. He's got the red glove that matches the numbers on the Dodger uniform. This young man is probably very excited to be out there, like a childhood dream. And one thing with Trevor Bauer, he gets wound up in a highly competitive individual, so he's just going to have to maintain that energy in a place where he can use it and focus it. It will help his fastball velocity. It will help the break on the slider and all the different pitches, but will it help location? That'll be the key.
Trevor still has a little scar on his nose thanks to former Dodger Brett Butler. Watched him rob a home run, and so he went into the hallway and tried to do the same thing himself, tried to pretend up against the wall, but he tripped and hit his nose on the door handle, split his nose wide open, had to go to the emergency room. So he fell very short trying to be Brett Butler, but now he gets to be a Dodger like Brett once was. The big Adrian Beltre guy. Eric Gagne he loved. Had a game over t-shirt that he wore everywhere. Living a dream. Number 27. The Dodgers tonight getting Mookie Betts back. First game for Mookie since Tuesday in Oakland. Told Kirsten Watson before the game didn't have any issues swinging the bat. It was all running. It was tight, his lower back was, but that subsided during the off day. Feels great and ready to go tonight. Dodgers with the best record in baseball at 8-2. Facing a Rockies team that was just swept in San Francisco. And looking for its first road win of the year. Another energetic, excited crowd files into Dodger Stadium, and off we go with a fastball strike. Hampson moved into the leadoff spot last week and has gone 0 for 13 since that move. But Black doing all he can to generate some offense. They scored just 4 runs in the 3 games in San Francisco. Fly to right field, routine for Mookie Betts, and on 2 pitches, Trevor Bauer gets the first out.
Second baseman number 24, Ryan McMahon.
1 gone first inning. Here's Ryan McMahon, who has been a nice surprise so far for the Rockies. He's hit 5 home runs. That leads the majors. Granted, 3 of those came in 1 game. 1 of them came against Trevor Bauer. Cracks the first pitch, lazily in the air to left. A.J. Pollock, back-to-back pitches, produces flyouts. Good efficient start.
Very efficient start. One of the things I love about Trevor and watching him win the Cy Young last year is that he doesn't overpitch early. He tries to dominate with 1, maybe 2 pitches, and he keeps other stuff in his back pocket for later in the game.
You sometimes would just go sinker, 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 sinker until they made you do something else.
Yep, until they forced you to throw something else.
Gets the first 2 outs on 3 pitches and now faces Trevor Story, who has heated up the last few days for the Rockies. Takes the first one to the outside corner. That's the cutter that Bauer threw 40% of the time when he saw the Rockies earlier this year. It's the 2nd largest percentage in any start in his career. You don't blame him. They went 1 for 9 against the pitch. Story had an 0 for 14 stretch, but he's collected 7 hits in his last 4 games since. On a 1-1 from Bauer. He tries to lay off, but can't, and it's 1-2. 3 consecutive cutters.
Shows the first 2 hitters the fastball and attacking, and then Story goes up there and probably thinks, I'm going to get a heater too, but no, he doesn't throw it. Guessing heater, getting cutter.
Now the 1-2, sticks with it and fouled off. We'll do it again.
We talked about how he doesn't expose his whole repertoire here early, but he could do it to individuals, like all fastballs to this guy, save 2 or 3 pitches for him later. All breaking balls / cutters here to Story, save the heater for later.
Personalized plans.
Personalized exposure, really, you know, just what am I going to show him early, what do I want late.
Spins out, 1 away, 2-2
again.
So he went from 80% fastball cutter against Colorado to about 60%, and went down to sea level and threw more breaking pitches against Oakland. And it had the same result, 10 strikeouts. Fires a 2-2. And strikes Story out with a heater at 94. A 1-2-3 first on 9 pitches for Trevor Bauer. Dodgers coming to bat for the first time tonight, and that means Mookie Betts, for the first time in his Dodger career, gets to play in front of fans at Dodger Stadium. He will lead things off for Dave Roberts. Corey Seager bats second. Chris Taylor hits third, with Turner getting the night off. Then Muncy, Smith, and Lux. A.J. Pollock in left, and Edwin Rios, the third baseman, hitting 8th. Against Antonio Senzatella, who the Dodgers tagged for 7 runs and 3 1/3 the second game this year. He followed that up with 8 shutout innings against the Diamondbacks.
The Dodgers were able to pick on his slider, which is his out pitch. He used it very well against Arizona. The other thing the Dodgers were able to do is get him in the air. He had a much higher ground ball percentage against Arizona, where the Dodgers were able to hit the ball to the gap and get it in the air.
His first one tonight is in there for a strike on bets. You mentioned the slider that he threw a bunch against Arizona. How about 43 times? First time in his career he's thrown the slider more than his fastball. Betts, it's a sharp ground ball. Nice pick by Story for the first out.
6-3. First half of this play is the good half. Mookie Betts just thrashes that ball, but Story does a nice job kind of getting a little side saddle so he get a read on it. Made a nice play.
107 miles per hour off of the bat. Story there to field it.
That's bad luck.
Yeah. One away for Corey Seager, who reached base 12 of his 16 plate appearances in the first series between these teams. Cracks one the other way, left center field, back towards the wall. There it goes! Seager's first of the season. Dodgers 1, Rockies nothing in the first.
I'm sure you've read about the renovations here at Dodger Stadium, the home run seats. Corey Seager going oppo into those seats. A souvenir is only one swing away, and it counts as a big run to have the Dodgers break on top. A lot of home runs in spring training. First one of the year.
They figured it was a matter of time for Seager. Chris Taylor now fouls back the first one from Senzatella. He's got to be thinking, these guys again. In his career at Dodger Stadium, 6 games, Antonio Senzatella is 0-3 with a 6.84 ERA. Taylor hits it hard, way back to center field. Hampson runs out of room. Back-to-back home runs. Second of the homestand for Chris Taylor, and just like that, they lead 2-0.
It could easily be back-to-back-to-back if Mookie Betts gets his ball a little higher in the air at 107 off the bat. This one from Chris Taylor, just enough.
Kershaw's having fun. They're all having fun. Now Muncy takes a ball. You know, the Dodgers so far this season, the second least home run reliant team in baseball. And there have been times in recent years where that's been a common knock on the Dodgers, that they're too home run reliant. But here they are, number 2 in the National League in runs, without having hit very many homers this year, just 1 per game.
Yeah, that's only their 3rd multi-home run game, and it took them all of 3 batters. One of the home runs inside the Parker. That was the first one of the year from McKinstry. Well, other than the Bellinger single.
Yeah. 3-1 on Muncy. A year ago, they had the #1 home run rate ever. Almost 2 home runs per game. 10 home runs over the first 10 games this year. Dangerous spot for Senzatella against a guy that's taken him deep before. Spins off of the inside corner. A 1-out walk for Muncy. You know, for Bud Black, starting pitching has been the saving grace lately. You get rid of the 7 runs that Antonio Senzatella gave up to the Dodgers game 2. The starting rotation has a 2.36 ERA.
Their bullpen has been rough. Their offense has been boom or bust. Very inconsistent lately coming out of San Francisco. They have 4 runs with only 21 hits in a series. Just has not been a good combination for Bud Black and these Rockies.
1-on-1 out. The hitter is Will Smith, who comes in third in the National League in OPS. Take strike one. Strike two.
Will and Tom Hallion will be able to continue that conversation, the home plate umpire, throughout the night. And Will's back there catching Trevor Bauer.
Tom Hallion, maybe the best strike three call in baseball right now. Best punch out. Got to see it to end that first inning on Bauer's fastball to ring up Story. Turns his whole back to you. Gets his whole body into it. Muncy at first, one gone. Smith watches that one miss badly. Ball one. It's a tough combination for Antonio Senzatella, who does not get guys to chase very often. He doesn't get very many swings and misses. Facing a lineup that chases less than any other in baseball. Turned it up to 97 that time. The home run hitters, Seager and Taylor, going back to back. Another 1-2 pitch. Senzatella wanted that one. That's right where he put strike two. Didn't get the call there, though.
It was a strike. It nipped the strike zone. It looks like maybe it's a hair off.
So now a 2-2. It's a curve that falls over the outside corner to get Smith. That's only the 6th curveball that he's thrown this season. It produces his first strikeout tonight.
A lineup like the Dodgers is going to make you do things that you don't do very often. If the stuff's not good enough, maybe I need to be a little bit more mysterious, and he was there with that breaking ball.
3rd start, only the 6th K for Antonio Senzatella. Just put that in perspective a little more. Trevor Bauer, his opposing starting pitcher tonight, has 21. Gavin Lux with 2 gone, lifts the first pitch foul. Gavin trying to break out of a little slide here. And then Coletti picked him to click during the pregame show. Lux hitless in the series against Washington, and 2 for his last 19.
He owns Senzatella. He's hitting .444 off of him, so a good guy for him to look out at the mound at.
On 0-1, he watches a changeup miss. Ball one. Just off of the corner for ball 2. Dodgers 2, Rockies nothing. First inning. 3 balls and a strike on Lux. Once he walked, takes his lead at first. Senzatella ready to deal his 22nd pitch of the inning. Lux lifts a fly ball the other way. Tapia drifting back. Edge of the warning track to make the catch and end the inning. But they hit back-to-back home runs. Corey Seager with his first of the season. And then Chris Taylor, his second of the homestand. Just like that, it's 2-0. Tonight's keys to the game are brought to you by your Southern California Lexus dealers.
We do these about a couple hours before the game, and we got these right. Seager home run, Taylor home run, Bauer 1, 2, 3 first.
Oh man,
they're locked in tonight.
Jeez.
That off day has been really good for me and Lexus.
Yes. Trevor Bauer back out there after the 1, 2, 3 first, faces Charlie Blackmon and misses with a fastball. Blackmon just 6 for 33 this season, although one of those 6 hits, a home run against Bauer. You know, in that game, Trevor Bauer took a no-hitter into the 7th inning at Coors Field. He gave up 4 runs in the 7th, a couple of home runs. 5 of the 6 runs that he's allowed this season have come in the 7th inning.
We were having visions of grandeur his first Dodgers start.
Shades of Nomo. Still the only guy ever to pitch a no-hitter at Coors Field. Bauer said he thinks the whole Coors Field is tough on pitchers thing gets overblown and guys defeat themselves before they even take the mound there. I guess it was easy to say in the post-game press conference after he took a no-hitter into the 7th, but
well, he's also a post-humidor pitcher.
Yeah.
Let's go back to the other balls.
2-1 on Blackmon. Bauer comes downhill and misses high, ball 3.
9 pitches in the first, 7 strikes. You wouldn't expect him to come out in the second and fall behind.
Full count.
There's the cutter that gets it off the barrel in a count where you really, the hitter's expecting something mid-plate and firm and maybe a little straighter, but he's able to command that cut fastball to get back in this count at 3-2.
See what he goes with on the payoff pitch. Charlie Blackmon leading off the second and slapping it foul. No touchdown, but it's going to be fascinating to look at the end of the outing and see what that pitch mix is. How much of the 80% fastball cutter was because he was at Coors Field? How much of it was specific to this lineup no matter where it is? (3-2) and he walked him. First base runner of the game for the Rockies. If Dodger pitchers strike out 10 tonight, everybody gets a free Jumbo Jack. And a Jack in the Box with the purchase of a large drink, valid only at LA area restaurants.
And Trevor just threw a 3-2 curveball and thought the count was 2-2 and shook to the curveball, and he's still a little perplexed with either himself or what he thought the count was.
That is only the second walk issued by a Dodger starting pitcher over the last 5+ games. 32 strikeouts, 2 walks. Ball 1 on C.J. Cron. Cron, the first-year Rocky. Signed him right before spring training to compete for the first base job, which he won. Although he struggled, one of his last 18. And in the San Francisco series, 0 for 6, 4 Ks. Three and 0. Strike 1.
He's trying to attack him at the top of the strike zone. Missed with the first 2 fastballs and came back with a little cutter / slider.
Sticks with the fastball up. It's popped up. Muncy and foul grounded first over near the netting, just out of room. Boy, already this year, there have been a few that have been just out of Muncie's reach. Ran into the plexiglass at Coors Field. He's gone into the netting a couple times here.
There's one big fish. Get me out of the netting.
3-2 to C.J. Cron. Fouled off of the glove. We'll do it again. Cron, a former Angel. He's a first-round draft pick of the Angels in 2011. Debuted there in 2014 and spent the first few years of his career playing behind Albert Pujols before going to Tampa Bay, then Minnesota, then Detroit. Bauer just misses, and that might have been one of those cases where the check swing hurts the umpire's vision on it.
Yeah, it's a perfect pitch. He executes it perfectly, and it is right there. You really can't throw it any better than that.
Back-to-back walks to open the inning. And up comes Raimel Tapia. Tapia was the leadoff man when the Dodgers saw the Rockies to start the season, but one of the moves Bud Black has made to try and shake things up is to move him down and move Hampson up. And it's at the very least gotten Tapia going a little bit. 5 for 10 in San Francisco this weekend.
This whole inning, Trevor has been falling behind. That one right there, the last one, is a little bit of pressure he's putting on himself because he's a little frustrated with the umpiring behind the plate, the 2 walks, and it looked like it was just an over-trying fastball.
Tapia tries to bunt it, foul, 1-1. Bauer and Will Smith trying to get on the same page here. Blackman at second, Cron at first. A 1-1 pitch from Trevor Bauer.
Got a hot hitter at the plate. Last 4 games, he has swung the bat really well. He usually gets a hit, gotten a hit every time he started this year.
On a 2-1 pitch, Tapia fouls it back, 2-2. Trevor Bauer needed just 9 pitches to go 1-2-3 in the first inning. He's thrown 18 here in the second, still looking for his first out.
Tough guy to double up, so I would think he might look for the punch out right here.
Tough guy to punch out too. Swings and misses as little as anybody in the league. 2-2 pitch. Got him to swing and miss. Back footing that one.
But with Cron, he was trying to feast on his aggressiveness, and Cron didn't bite at all. Then they got mixed up on the count. He thought it was 2-2. He threw him what was a 3-2 realistically. Breaking ball, walked him. But he's got a chance. The first step of getting out of this jam, getting Tapia, and he did.
When Trevor Bauer gets 2 strikes on a hitter this year, they're 1 for 31, and it ends in a strikeout more than 60% of the time. First and second, 1 gone. Here's Josh Fuentes. A little spinner along first that will go foul. Fuentes out of Trabuco Hills High School. formerly known as Nolan Arenado's cousin that happened to break into the majors, but now an everyday player starting to make a name for himself. Said he was bummed to see his cousin go. Obviously, they're very tight, but at the same time, he said it kind of frees me up some. I'm not just Nolan's cousin anymore. People look at me as Josh, the third baseman. You know, even when Josh hit his first career major league home run, Nolan hit one inning later. It's like, come on, man. Let me have my moment. Swing and a miss, 0-2. They work out together all winter, constantly trying to outdo each other in every bit of work that they do, and they talk all the time still during the season. He said Nolan making it is what made him think it was even remotely possible for him to make it. He never had given pro baseball any thought before Nolan got drafted. On an 0-2 from Bauer, Fuentes lifts it down the right field line. Will Muncy have room for this one? Just barely. Finally it goes his way. Just enough room for out number 2.
These foul balls have been accurate this year for Max Muncy. First base umpire Phil Cuzzy has to get over there and make sure the ball doesn't graze the screening or netting before it goes into the glove. But it makes it cleanly into the glove and never touches the net.
If it does, a dead ball.
Yep.
No matter what happens after that. 2 on, 2 out, and the hitter's Elias Diaz. Bauer trying to pitch around the back-to-back walks to open the inning. And now facing the Rockies catcher, who's 2 for 19 this year. In the dirt, ball 1. One-0 pitch. 2-0. The pitcher sends Tella on deck.
Definitely would like to get the catcher out here and have the beginning of next inning seem a little bit easier.
Dodgers 2, Rockies nothing. Back-to-back home runs from Seager and Taylor in the first inning. 2-0 pitch. Diaz watches a strike. They throw back to second. Blackman in there easily. Rockies have been aggressive on the bases this year, leading the National League in steals.
2-0 breaking ball right there with the pitcher on deck. Will Smith trying to find an out for his pitcher.
Lewis had to throw 25 pitches in this inning after he needed just 9 in the first. Here comes a 2-1. Diaz tries to lay off and does. Ball 3.
Borderline check swing, some borderline pitch calls, and a pitch selection. And what the pitcher thought it was 2-2 count, but it was really 3-2 count, and that's what really built this inning.
Looked to be the right call from Phil Cuzzy there to make it 3 balls 1 strike. Power out of the stretch comes home, and the count goes full. No chance for him to get out of this inning with no damage.
And that one hung a little bit. You're glad to get a fresh ball back in your glove right there.
Against Guy Diaz, who hasn't hit much this year, but he's been a good offensive player throughout his big league career, mostly in Pittsburgh. Runners who get a head start. There they go. Here it comes. He struck him out. And despite the back-to-back walks to open the inning, Trevor Bauer puts up another 0. 2-0, middle 2.
Moments ago, Corey Seager scored his first home run of the season into the home run seats, and I am now here standing with Neil, who was able to get that home run ball. It's for you have the MVP, World Series MVP player, their first home run. How incredible is it just to be here and get that ball?
It's amazing. It's our first game of the season, and then to catch his first home run ball of the season, it's amazing. When you're sitting in these seats, it's like you're almost in the game, and I was.
I said that these are the best seats of the house. Would you agree with that?
They're terrific. They're really, really cool seats. I'd rather be sitting right behind home plate, but if I couldn't be sitting there, I'd be sitting here.
Thanks so much, Neil. Joe?
All right, Kirsten, thanks, and congratulations to Neil taking home the souvenir.
Be one of the first to experience those Dodger Stadium new home run seats. The new premium seating experience puts you in the action like never before, and we just had it attested to us. For information, visit Dodgers.com/home run seats.
Taylor followed that Seager home run with a home run of his own. So 2-0 as we go to the bottom of the second, and A.J. Pollock stands in. Here comes Antonio Senzatella. That's ball one. Bottom third of the order coming up here. Rios and Bauer to follow. Pollock, huge numbers against Senzatella. 389 average. He's got a home run. He's got 3 doubles against him. Some of those numbers are with the Dodgers. Some back earlier in Senzatella's career when Pollock was in Arizona still. Senzatella 26, now in his 5th big league year. 2 balls, 1 strike. It's out of Valencia, Venezuela. Signed in 2011. He was just 22 when he debuted. He had only made 7 starts above A-ball when the Rockies brought him up in 2017. I think even more impressive is that he didn't go back. So he brought him up way earlier than he figured he was ready, but he's stuck. Led the team last year, 3.44 ERA. That was the best among their starters. He fires the 3-1 that Pollock hits in the air, center field. Back goes Hampson to make the catch on the track. Just off the end of the bat a little bit for Pollock, and out number 1.
Third baseman number 43, Edwin Rios.
He hit it about 395. It probably would have hit maybe the base of the wall. Hampson with his good wheels gets it done.
One gone second inning. Here's Edwin Rios starting at third base today after making his first career start in right over the weekend. Fly ball center field. Hampson routine this time. 2 up and 2 down.
Took Senzatella 22 pitches in that first inning and gave up the 2 spot. Now he gets to face Trevor Bauer, but he hasn't thrown many pitches this inning. He can get that pitch count right into control with 2 outs and facing the pitcher.
The pitchers are going to be just about even in terms of pitch count, just flip-flopped in when the big inning was. That's assuming he can find a way to retire Trevor Bauer. Got him in an 0-2 hole.
I'm not sure Trevor's going to move the bat off his shoulder.
This is an ambush. He's got him set up. Good take.
We got a response from our question over the air about trying to find new ways to say good take.
What'd you get?
Somebody suggested big boy take.
I like it. Swing and a miss in a 1-2-3 second for Senzatella on just 11 pitches to, as Earl said, get his pitch count under control. World champion Dodger baseball on Sportsnet LA is brought to you by the SoCal BMW Centers. BMW, the ultimate driving machine. and by Jack in the Box. Go classic, spicy, or both with the new $5.99 50/50 popcorn chicken with ranch, only at Jack in the Box. Back at Dodger Stadium, where the Dodgers are trying to get to 9-2 on the season, sweeping the Washington Nationals in the first home series of the season. A couple of home runs. Corey Seager and Chris Taylor going back-to-back in the first inning to make it 2-0.
Power has been something that they haven't done much of, but we know the potential from last year. There's a couple of landmarks I'm going to really look to see as we balance the books from last year being the short season. I think at game 21, that would be kind of a halfway point that we could see how the team has done from the 60 regular season of last year and 21 games this year. And then we get to that 102 game mark. You might think about, okay, that's a full season from the beginning of 2020 to when we get to 102 games, and see how really good they are in comparison to other years.
Just a heck of an all-star break in there. Quite a vacation in it. Now 1-2 for the Rockies coming up here in the third. Senzatella to lead it off. Trevor Bauer 3 Ks, couple of walks, no hits against him through 2. Delivers strike 1 to Senzatella. A lightning quick first inning, needed just 9 pitches and then had to throw 28 in the second.
It's only his second first pitch strike to the last 6 hitters. So he wants to get back on track and get ahead in the count.
Rising fastball there, 0-2. Just at 91 with those first 2. We've seen a mid-90s so far this season. A curveball, 1-2.
Bauer's whiff percentage last year was close to 24%, and this year he's above that. He's almost 26%.
Senzatella able to stay alive. We'll do the 1-2 again. Bauer kicks and deals, and Senzatella takes it outside, 2-2. With the 7th pitch in this at bat against the opposing pitcher. A 2-2, and he finishes him off with a fastball, his 4th K.
Download the MLB app to get in-game video highlights, live pitch-by-pitch, breaking news, player updates, stats, leaderboards, and more for your Dodgers and the rest of Major League Baseball.
Dodgers 2, Rockies nothing. Back to the top of the order. And Garrett Hampson flied to right his first time. Bauer comes home and breaks it into the zone, strike 1. Trevor Bauer really the product of a lifelong pursuit to make himself into a big league pitcher. He'd be the first to tell you he's not a particularly gifted athlete. Not big, not fast, not really strong. He threw mid-70s when he was a high school freshman. Drops that curveball in for a strike, and it's 0-2. Kyle Bodie, who founded Driveline and is one of Trevor Bauer's closest friends, he says that Trevor Bauer might be the single worst athlete in baseball, and he doesn't belong in pro sports. And yet here he is, the reigning Cy Young Award winner, the highest paid pitcher in the sport. A little dribbler, going to be a tough play. Bauer pounces on it, throws high, and Hampson's aboard with 1 out.
If he'd have made that play, I was make you go back.
The same thing.
Go back on the comment about the single worst athlete in all of Major League Baseball.
And you know what? I asked Trevor. I said, you know, Kyle Bodie says that. That's crazy, right? And he said, it might not be that far off.
Oh, I don't know after that. That was very close to being outstanding. Slide and get it in your bare hand. That's a feat. Forget about the throw getting away.
And Trevor taught himself through hard work, through study, a lot of science, and then a whole lot more hard work to be, in his words, really good at one specific thing, and that is throwing a baseball, which he does. A little bit high for ball one on McMahon. And he's arguing with home plate umpire Tom Hallion, who squeezed him on a few so far tonight. And he's done it his way. He says he's proof, not necessarily that you can do anything, but that you don't have to fit a mold. You can be exactly who you are and accomplish great things if you're willing to put in the work. Two and 0.
The intensity between the home plate umpire and Trevor Bauer has ratcheted up a little bit to the point where Tom Hallion took his mask off and wanted to have a little conversation. Trevor just kept his head down on the mound.
Gets that one by McMahon. 2-1. Tom Hallion in his 27th year as a big league umpire. Another fastball gets a swing and a miss. 2-2. Hallion saying, I've been doing this job since you were 3, son.
Umpired some of my games.
Huh. Did it fire you up when you got a called strike 3 with him? You get me jacked up, man.
I think my favorite strike 3 calls, Dutch Rennard. He would yell it out, and he would turn sideways, go down onto one knee, give a big emphatic right hand, and yell. It wasn't even a strike. It was just
so
this long groan.
2-2 again. A cutter on the hands, rolled right side. Rios over there in the shift throws him out. Hampson into scoring position. That's one of the things I would hate to see go away with an electronic strike zone. I like the idea of it getting called right, but I don't know. Perfect's kind of boring, and I love the flavor that each individual umpire brings.
And you're going to need a home plate umpire for the play at the plate and maybe a few other things. So maybe it would be, yeah, you could still get the strike call.
But Tom Hallion's not going to be whipping around punching somebody out when a pager tells him it's a strike.
Like a little shock thing on their way.
Well, yeah, I guess it depends on how we set the signal.
Strike 3, they just set the signal a little higher.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Story can't lay off. It gets by. Hampson will go to third.
The strike 1 is just a little rattle on your waist. Strike 2 is a little bit different, a little higher intensity, but 3. Yeah.
Oh, this guy's so good tonight. I hate it.
Can you imagine? This umpire has to be removed because
too many strike 3 calls.
30 strikeouts, 15 on each side.
Gosh, fried. So Hampson at third with 2 gone for Story. Struck out his first time. 0-1 pitch. Didn't chase this time. It's 1-1. First time around it was cutter, 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 and then a two-seam. Out of that same window back into the zone. Dodgers 2, Rockies nothing. 2 gone, third inning. Bauer to Story with a 1-1 pitch. Fastball at 97, hardest one he's thrown tonight. Strike 2.
Whatever the pitch, he's worked him away. He is not coming in. Is he saving that bullet for now or later, or it won't ever go there?
Bauer's 1-2. He struck him out. Getting Story to chase and stranding a man at third, keeping it 2-0. This was strikeout number 5 for Trevor Bauer. 5 more for the Dodgers tonight, and everybody gets a free
Jumbo Jack.
You know it. You better know it by now. With the purchase of a large drink, valid only at LA area restaurants. Top of the order for the Dodgers against Senzatella, and Mookie Betts takes ball 1. Just making sure you're on your toes over there, pal.
I was on my toes.
Yeah.
I'm glad I remembered from the other reads.
Right. And if not, we have this giant screen with the name. Betts grounded out his first time. He absolutely drilled it, but it was a nice play by Story at short. Now the Dodgers 4-1 without Mookie Betts. And he said that's proof they don't need me. Okay. But 7 runs per game with him, 4.5 without. 2 balls, 1 strike. And just an entirely different feel in the lineup when he's in it versus when he's not.
Instant pressure on the opposing pitcher.
On 2-1. Watches that one drift inside, ball 3. First game for Mookie since last Tuesday in Oakland. On a 3-1 pitch. Rakes it foul. Count goes full. The Dodgers 8-2. They've only had 4 games where Betts and Bellinger have been in the lineup together. Depth on display early. On a payoff pitch, Betts fouls it off the glove. Senzatella cranked it up to 97 that time. We'll do the 3-2 again.
Not the type of leadoff hitter that is just going to go for a little punch and Judy swing in a 3-2 count. He let it loose right there.
On the 7th pitch, Betts hits a towering drive down the line. If it's fair, it's way gone. Look out, Pasadena. A monster shot from Betts. Second of the season for Mookie. Third of the night for the Dodgers. They lead 3-0 on 3 solo shots. Now the guy that hit the first of those 3, Corey Seager, takes ball 1. That thing was way up there.
He hits this a long way. Big things come in small packages. A 3-2 count, approximately the same effort as the swing before. This one he makes full contact and he knows it's gone, so he decides to enjoy it for a moment.
He'd be the first to tell you he doesn't normally hit huge home runs like that. He says, I usually get just enough to get him out of here. Whack. Out of the camera. About 10 rows deep. 3-0 green light and a foul ball, 3-1.
They average 7 runs when he's in the lineup. They've already gotten 3 in 3 innings.
Full count on Seager. Senzatella had not allowed a home run in his first 2 starts this year. 3 solo shots and 2+. 3-2 pitch. Seager yanks one on a line, right center field. That'll split the gap and bounce to the wall. He's 2 for 2 with a pair of extra base hits. A double in the first, or a homer in the first, and a double in the third.
Number 3, Chris Taylor.
3-2. He gets a high breaking ball that just kind of hangs there. Doesn't do too much with it. Finds enough of the gap to split it. Once it hits the wall, Blackman's got no chance.
So Seager has now reached 14 of his 18 plate appearances against Colorado this year. And now Taylor, who homered his first time up. Ball 1. Taylor's now been on base all 9 games in which he's played this year. On base percentage near 500, top 10 in the National League. He has looked so locked in. The same way he's versatile positionally, he's been versatile for Dave Roberts, different spots in the order. Tonight he hits 3rd for the 2nd time. It's the 5th different spot in the order that he's hit. One ball, 2 strikes.
There's not one glaring thing that makes Chris Taylor look locked in, but I think it's just a little bit better in a lot of different edges. His strike zone discipline, his ability to foul off tough pitches, the mechanics that he's coming to plate with are a little bit tighter and more accurate. And I think the whole accumulation of everything is really locking him in.
Banged to second, caught by McMahon. First out of the inning is a screaming line drive from Taylor. And up comes Max Muncy. Added to his National League leading walk total his first time. How about an on-base percentage for Max Muncy now at .535, 2 weeks into the year. He's got Seager at second with 1 out, and he takes strike 1. Just one of those beautiful modern hitters that doesn't chase, and when he gets a pitch in the zone, he typically punishes it. Takes that one high, 1-1.
Everybody in the lineup benefits from the other hitters. That these pitchers get fatigued. You know, it's got to be a quality pitch after a quality pitch. They got to have their catcher set up near the corner. They got to hope they can get chase, and they don't get any of it. like just, when you're younger, wrestling somebody that weighs more than you. It's like you got to be perfect because that weight just keeps on you. It just makes you just so tired.
Taking high, count evens 2-2. Were you a wrestler in your day? You just saying like your cousins?
No, a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Started in gym class, and I was pretty decent, and I wasn't going to hurt myself like you would in some other sports like football.
You get the ear pads and stuff, right?
Yeah, I didn't do it seriously for more than like 2 years. But it was, we didn't wrestle in our weight class all the time in practice. So it was hard. And that's what this just kind of feels like, your older brother is kind of picking on you all the time. And it's like, no matter how talented you are, it's that weight of just, and that's what it's like to face this lineup. It just keeps coming at you.
Your older brother's sitting on you, pinning your hands down, doing that thing where you tap your chest really fast.
Yeah.
Torture.
Yeah. And it is. It is torture. Every move, every pitch, you're grinding on it mentally, you're grinding on it physically. You feel like you've got to be perfect. Even the outs are loud, and you're like, oh, did I really win that battle, or was I just lucky?
2-2. Muncy watches it drop low. Full count.
That's a perfect example right there. That's a great breaking pitch. I mean, it is on the plate, never leaves the plate, drops out of the strike zone, and he just spits on it. This is a big boy take.
3 balls, 2 strikes on Max Muncy. Dodgers 3, Rockies nothing. 3 solo home runs for the Dodgers already tonight. Seager, Taylor, and Betts. Senzatella home with a 3-2. Muncy lifts it sky high to center field, but he got under it. And now Garrett Hampson does for out number 2.
Number 16, Will Smith.
Max missed a meatball. He almost threw his bat. Got a little frustrated.
Smith took strike 3, called his first time. On a curveball, rare curveball from Senzatella. He's only thrown a handful of them this season. Dropped one over the outside corner to get Smith his first time. Fastball a little bit low. One on one. Seager the runner at second, sends Attella home with ball 2. 60 pitches in, and not even done with the third. In his last outing, 8 shutout innings against Arizona. 96 pitches over those 8 innings. Count evens 2-2 on Smith. Dodger catcher pokes it foul, and it stays 2 balls and 2 strikes. Senzatella having issues with the Dodgers again. It's been even more pronounced in this park, believe it or not. Been having to deal with him at Coors Field. He's had worse numbers here. .30 pitches in this third. Right after he got things under control with that quick second.
They take balls, swing at strikes. They hit home runs, which has been 3, and they only have 3 swings and misses. Pretty good ratio.
Another 2-2 is down and away, and the count goes full. We said it early on, but Senzatella does not typically get many swings and misses. He's going to need you to help him in order to get those, and this is just not a lineup that most nights is going to do that. 8th pitch coming here to Will Smith with Seager at second and 2 gone, bottom 3. Will playing in his 99th Major League game tonight. 99th regular season game. 25 home runs over his first 98. On a 3-2, Smith takes it just low. A 2-out walk. Senzatella has some issues with Tom Hallion. He's hearing it from both sides tonight, isn't he?
Yeah, Senzatella's got a point here. Remember in Will Smith's first at bat, he turned around on a fastball in that Senzatella got the call, and he and Tom Hallion had a little chat. Since then, the borderline calls have gone Will's way.
Little politicking. Inning kept alive for Lux. Flied to left his first time, trying to snap an 0 for 12, looking for his first hit of this homestand. On a 1-0 pitch, Lux watches a fastball miss inside. 2 balls, no strikes. .35th pitch of this inning coming here. Two and one. Kevin Lux, who hit in his first 2 years as a pro a total of 7 home runs. He had 15 in 2018. He hit 29 in 2019. Filled out physically. He's added 40 pounds since he was drafted. And a product of taking a better plan up there each time. Hits this one to the ground. It'll sneak through into center field for a 2-out base hit. Seager's in to score on a Gavin Lux single, and it's 4-0. And he proudly wears the barrels are overrated sign there.
I think he broke his bat on this one. But he hit it in the right place, and it had just enough to get through. Enough to get by Senzatella, and then split the 2 defenders up the middle.
Somebody in the dugout was saying to him, do the dunk on him thing, and he said, no, I did not dunk on him there. My hands hurt. He jammed me, destroyed my bat. But he'll take it. First hit of the homestand for Gavin Lux in a 4-0 lead. Brings the pitching coach Steve Foster out and gets Yoli Chacin loosening.
Steve Foster staying out there a while. He might want to have a word with Tom Hallion. This will be interesting when Hallion arrives. Nope.
A quick word from Nissan.
This Dodgers broadcast is brought to you by the 2021 Nissan Rogue.
First and third, 2 gone. Here's Pollock. Lined it to center field his first time. And quietly, while the numbers still not pretty for A.J. Pollock, he's been better the last week or so. The chase rate has gone down. The strikeouts have gone down after those were pretty high over the first series. Makes that one sharply foul. The Dodgers hoping that the hits start to fall is the next part of that progression.
He's got to lay off the breaking ball. You got to be able to read and spin a little bit better and know when it's going to break and stay on the plate and offer at it, or if it's going to wander off the plate and leave it alone.
One ball, one strike. Those are the ones that AJ was having a hard time laying off of first week or so. And typically throughout his career, when he's not been at his best, that's where he's fished. That's not been a strike yet tonight.
Now AJ's having a word with Tom Hallion. Hallion is rated as a slightly above average hitters umpire.
'40th pitch of this inning from Antonio Senzatella. It's a 1-2 to A.J. Pollock. And it's hit in the ground to Trevor Story at short. Low throw and the inning continues. Smith is in to score. Inning continues. Nightmare continues for Senzatella. It's 5-0.
Story, one of the great young shortstops in the game. This one, he makes a nice play, charging it and getting it on the correct hop, and then just kind of eases into the throw. Right about there, just kind of a little hitch in his giddy up, and boy, to bounce that over there on that routine of a play is not the norm for that man.
That is going to do it. Bud Black comes out of the Rockies dugout. And at some point, even if you think he can settle in as the night goes on, you can't let a guy throw 50 pitches in an inning. The Dodgers just would not let him off of the hook. 3 in the bank. Still going. First and third, 2 gone. The inning started with Mookie Betts' first home run of the year. His first home run at Dodger Stadium in front of fans was long gone. 5-0, third inning. World Champion Dodger Baseball on Sportsnet LA is brought to you by Carl's Jr. The Steakhouse Angus Thick Burger is back at Carl's Jr. Feed your happy. And by Nissan. Choose Nissan today for great offers on our most exciting lineup ever. Shop NissanUSA.com. Mookie Betts and the Dodgers with 3 here in the third. They lead 5-0. And Antonio Senzatella frustrated by this lineup that is so tough to get out. And frustrated by home plate umpire Tom Hallion tonight, who's had a very hitter-friendly zone. So Senzatella unable to escape the third inning. Yoli Chacin comes on. His third game with the Rockies this year. They signed him the day before the season began. He just showed up at Coors Field, and writers and media were like, wait a minute, that's Chacin down there throwing. Ball one on Edwin Rios. He's a guy who started his career in Colorado in 2009 when he was 21 years old. Had some great seasons for the Rockies and then bounced around. Great seasons elsewhere. He was really Milwaukee's ace in 2018, a team that pushed the Dodgers to Game 7 in the NLCS. Since then, Boston, Atlanta, short stints in both. But now back to where it all began.
Fastball slider split. Started him off with a split that went low and away.
2-0 from Chacin. Rios watches strike one. Chacin has made more appearances against the Dodgers than any other team. In fact, since he debuted, the only guy that's made more outings against the Dodgers is Madison Bumgarner. A 2-1 offering that Rios takes way outside, ball 3. Dodgers have been hitting for 26 minutes. Homer from Betts, double from Seager, then Senzatella got a couple outs before Smith walked. Luck singled, and the air from Story keeping the inning going. Rios looking to take advantage. 3-1 pitch. Ball 4 to load him up.
This could turn into one of those games that Dave Roberts can juggle some playing time. Tease Mookie Betts back into the playing time from the bad back. Maybe get Matt Beatty some at bats and some others. Zach McKinstry might find his way into this game if they can continue to stretch this lead. I think he would avoid Justin Turner. He might juggle some other positions.
There's Bauer, who's going to be up there just forcing him to throw strikes. Doesn't with the first one. How about McKinstry leading the team in homers and RBIs, top 10 in the league in slugging. El Bencho. So our friend Nomar Garcia-Parra says. Oh boy.
You know, you go from I'm going to make the team as a utility player, and I hope I get some opportunities to. Skipper wants to give me a day off.
Yeah. Get me off my feet.
Yeah. You know, just take it easy on me. I'll check in with him tomorrow to see if I'm going to be in there. If I'm not in there tomorrow, I might have to go in and have my own meeting with the skipper.
That's right. No chance. Bauer swings. 2-1. Bases loaded, third inning. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Bauer with a hard hit ground ball to short that Story's able to field and go to second for the force out. They get 3 and lead it 5-0 to the 4th. Our T-Mobile coverage cam out in center field tonight. Dodgers in front 5-0 as we go to the middle innings. And Kirsten Watson as a special guest, the woman responsible for that wonderful project out there.
Yes, Joe, I am joined by Janet Marie Smith, who is responsible for the expansion and just the renovations of Dodger Stadium. Janet Marie, how incredible is it after a year seeing fans getting to experience all of the hard work you all have done here?
It's been fantastic having fans here. I mean, nothing short of fantastic. You know, it looks so empty without our fans, and it just feels so good to be back.
As they experience and explore around Center Field Plaza, what is something that you hope that they really get to take in while here?
Well, Stan Kasten always wanted this to feel like a front door, and I am just thrilled at how many fans have already found it and discovered that there's a 360 around Dodger Stadium. So even without the ability to open the food and the playgrounds and things, people are lining up to take pictures with the World Series trophy, the fire truck, watching the pregame show. It's just been really exciting.
And throughout the stadium, there are just moments of history, whether it's Tommy Lasorda's lockers or pieces that just remind you of the 1960s. How important was it for you to really continue to just preserve that when renovating the stadium?
Well, as the third oldest park in the major leagues, we wanted our fans to feel the love of the heritage, make their own memories here. It's not all about history, it's about making your own, but Dodger lore is just so rich, and they're just course, if any years to pay tribute to Tommy, this would be one.
And you've had the opportunity to work on Fenway Park, the Oriole at Camden Yards, Oriole Park at Camden Yards. How special, though, has this stadium been to you?
It's unbelievable. There's not another one like it, right? It's the only one that was built in the middle of the century, mid-century modern, Southern California, these crazy colors, 1960s kind of goofy stuff that today we revere. And so you could never get away with this anywhere else. I've just loved it.
Thank you so much, Janet Marie.
Thanks for having me.
Joe?
All right, Kirsten, that's a special guest right there. Charlie Blackmon leading off the fourth against Bauer and hitting a skyscraper into center field. Chris Taylor waits for it to come down, makes the catch, one away. And Kirsten mentioned it. She designed Camden Yards, which for so many is still their favorite ballpark. She was responsible for preserving Fenway Park, modernizing Fenway Park. She downsized Turner Field from an Olympic venue into a baseball venue. And Bill Shaken wrote an article in LA Times last week, I think very appropriate and a great point. She belongs in the Baseball Hall of Fame, given everything she's done. Strike one on C.J. Cron.
Well, some of her work just stands out and you go, wow, how did she think of that? And then other of her work goes so unnoticed and it's so subtle that you go, wow, I never saw that before. That is amazing. And it's a nice blend with the traditional and the modern. And Stan, gave her a lot of different instructions, and he especially wanted to save the views at Dodger Stadium and make it still feel like it was original. And she did a wonderful job.
Cron high in the air to center field, and Taylor again. And it's amazing, isn't it? There's this entire renovation out there, completely changed beyond the pavilion. You would have no idea if somebody didn't tell you that. If you didn't walk out there, sitting in your seats, looking out towards the outfield, it is completely unchanged, that sight line. I think you touched on something that is one of her hallmarks, and that is subtlety.
Yeah.
Here's Tapia. 2 gone in the fourth. Oh, and 1.
It's like simple elegance. It doesn't beat you over the head.
You're not looking for a home run sculpture. With all due respect to the home run sculpture in Miami.
I'm not sure it deserves respect.
All due respect, however much is due. 0-2 coming.
Big 2 quick outs from Trevor Bauer. He had to wait almost a half hour. He makes the last out of the last inning when the Dodgers put 9 to the plate, him being the 9th. The inning starts out with the Mookie Betts home run and ends with him. But then he gets 2 quick outs. He can make this feel really good for the Dodgers. Get Tapia out here.
Got him. Using the curveball to get Raimel Tapia. A 9-pitch inning for Trevor Bauer, who's got 6 strikeouts tonight. He's nothing. StatCast is powered by Google Cloud, and it looks at Mookie Betts' 2nd home run of the year.
Well, his out to shortstop was 107 mile an hour off the bat. That turned into an out to story. That one 104, and it's a dinger on the right trajectory.
Yodi Chacin stays in, delivers. Betts yanks one down the line, hooking, foul. Home run distance to it, but wide of the pole, and strike 1. This is the guy who has more 3 home run games than anybody but 2 people in baseball history. Sammy Sosa and Johnny Mize, along with Mookie Betts. They've all had 6 3 home run games. 1 ball, 1 strike. For a guy who didn't have a single one his first year as a pro. Only hit the fence on the bounce. Bouncing ball to third. Josh Fuentes. Betts is out number 1. Brings up Corey Seager, who has one of the 3 home runs for the Dodgers tonight. And against the Rockies this year, with the homer and the double tonight, he's reached in 14 of his 18 plate appearances. That's 10 for 14 with 4 walks.
A little small lull in his production against the Nats. Had a few swings and misses, but when he hit it hard. But now he's finding holes again.
Take strike 1 from Chacin. And now ball 1. Corey, of course, will be a free agent at the end of the year. Along with Trevor Story, the Rockies shortstop. Carlos Correa, Houston shortstop. Javier Baez in Chicago. And Francisco Lindor, right before opening day, kind of setting the tone for that group, signing a 10-year, $340 million contract. Corey says, though, that he learned during his elbow rehab that it just does you no good to look beyond today. And it's going to be hard not to think about it, right? You've been waiting your whole life to reach free agency and be able to get paid like that, but doing his best to stay focused on what he can control today. It's fouled off Hallion, 3-2.
Like it got Tom right in the seam. There's a shoulder pad and a chest pad, and then there's a little seam there kind of in between them, and you see it right by your collarbone. There's padding there, but it's not as thick as the 2 areas I described, that chest protector and the shoulder pad that you can see there. Looks like he's a kicker in the NFL with those shoulder pads.
Payoff pitch. Seager takes the walk. 4th one of the night for the Dodgers.
Chris Taylor.
And here's Taylor. We were talking about wrestling earlier. Chris Taylor was a big-time wrestler growing up. Said he loved baseball too much, though, to commit to it full-time, commit to it enough to be great at it. The last straw for him in his wrestling career, he was 110 pounds, tiny. They wanted him to cut to 103. He said, okay, I'm done. I'm playing baseball. Takes in the dirt, ball 1. Wrestling's a family thing, though. His grandpa and his dad both wrestled at Virginia Tech. His dad's in the Hall of Fame at Virginia Tech as a wrestler. Chris was a city champion in Virginia Beach when he was in 7th grade. £103 soaking wet. Sitting on dude's hands, tapping him in the chest. 1-1. I don't think that's actually a legal move in a real wrestling match, is it? Can you imagine?
That would be embarrassing.
To be the guy laying there, yeah.
Plus, if you know the 3 count on the pin, right? So
that's true.
3 count. There'd be very few taps
unless you go really fast.
Yeah. With the tape today, the way you see all these young kids texting as quick as their fingers, and you get a lot of taps.
Don't let one of those kids sit on top of you and tap your chest.
Really bad wrestler.
Oh, man.
I don't want to wrestle him. He's got that tap move.
Right. Tap, tap, taparoo. The largest Olympian of all time was a wrestler named Chris Taylor.
That's right.
412 pounder, 72 Munich games.
Well, sumo wrestling is not in the Olympics, huh?
I actually think it is.
Yeah, I'm thinking. So that it was a sumo wrestler, you think?
No, just a very large weight class.
Wow. You would think a sumo wrestler would get to be 400 pounds.
But I think there are There are different classes in sumo wrestling as well.
Yeah.
It's actually not an Olympic sport. It should be, but being told it's not.
Not enough countries participate in it.
Could be that, yeah. Grand Sumo is coming to the Tokyo Olympics.
As an exhibition or as an actual medal sport?
3 balls, 2 strikes. I'm trying to become an expert at this really fast.
You're doing great. You're using that tap, tap, tap move.
Yeah, that's right. Look out.
You're tapping on the keyboard instead of a guy's chest.
Yeah. So sumo meet will be held as part of the games, but technically, still technically not a medal sport.
Great exposure for the sport. Maybe it'll catch on in other countries. You never know. There's just no way you and I would ever think about becoming a sumo wrestler. Not on chicken and broccoli.
Nope. Payoff pitch again. Taylor bounces one just foul.
That would be an interesting read, to read a book about sumo wrestlers and that lifestyle.
And the history of it. This goes back into the 1100s. 8th pitch coming here to Chris Taylor. Check that. 23 BC. The first sumo match on record. Seager's at first. 1 gone. 5-0 4th inning. Payoff to Taylor. Rips a base hit to left. He's hit it hard all 3 times tonight. He's got the home run and that single there. The one out that he made was a 100-mile-per-hour line out to second.
It's a few more of these top spin line drives. That little buggy whip, the slight elevation in his swing, and gets the back end of the ball and top spins it into left field.
Couple ducks on the pond for Muncy. Walked his first time, fly to center in the 3rd. Rockies pitchers have thrown 100 pitches tonight, and there's 1 out in the 3rd inning, or in the 4th inning. Big rip and a miss, 0-2.
If the Rockies start getting the Dodgers out, it's going to be like Tommy Lasorda when he used to say, "I'm not full, my arms are just tired." These guys will stop hitting because their arms are tired.
That's when he would end his meals, you're saying?
Yep.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, that's enough. I'm not full. My arms are tired.
Yeah. Love that. Muncy goes the other way. That's down for a hit to drive home Seager. Send Taylor to 3rd. Muncy with his sights set on 2. He's got a double. And it's 6-0.
Chris Taylor hooked one over there to left field. Max Muncy goes the opposite way. That ball was a good 8 inches off the plate. Corey Seager scores easily. Taylor gets the 3rd easily. Muncy cruises into 2nd.
Just a gentle little dunk on him. Two in the first, three in the third, one in the fourth. Second and third one gone as Foster talks with Chacin and Will Smith gets ready to bat. No wrestling for Will Smith coming up. He was football, basketball as a kid, and golf. Still loves golf. Ran cross country for 1 year in 5th grade, just because it was the only sport that his elementary school offered. So let's do it. Let's go run.
Ran cross country in high school to stay in shape for baseball. 1 year. I didn't like to run that much.
Yeah.
It was a good idea.
Right. Sounded fun, running over hills and stuff, through trees. Over the river, through the woods.
My grandmother lived in another town.
First one from Chacin. Smith takes in the dirt, blocked by Diaz. Six runs on 7 hits and 4 walks already.
You get into games like this and the hitters are saying to each other, go get you some. You got to go get you some. Got to get yourself a hit, get yourself some RBIs, get yourself a home run.
Good frame there at the bottom of the zone by Diaz. Get a strike, 1-1.
The big part of the big league culture is that if you get in a blowout game and you're the guy that took the offer, you still got to be happy with your teammates. You can't go to your locker and sulk and take a quick shower and get out of the locker room in a hurry. You'll get a bad reputation. You got to celebrate when you win, and if you're a big part of the win, great. It's an easy, natural celebration. But if you're not a big part of the win and you had a rough day, you still got to figure a way to put a smile on your face and be part of the crowd.
Most guys have to learn that the hard way, or do they come up knowing that?
There's some guys that's just the way they've been, maybe when they've been part of team sports, and there's other guys that have to learn that. But it's a quick lesson in a big league locker room if you've got the right leaders. It can be cruel as far as the barbs that get sent across the room. And you learn right away to kind of be part of the team.
Second and third one gone. Will Smith on 2-1 hits it foul. 2-2.
There's a lot of leveling ingredients in a locker room, and the chemistry and the good clubhouses. I mean, there's the teasing of the stars that do really well to kind of bring them down a notch, and there's the building up of the young guy that maybe takes an offer, and you just try and get everybody kind of in the middle with their emotions.
Like checks and balances all around. Huh?
Yep, that they're all part of it.
Taylor at third, Muncy at second. Chacin to Smith with a 2-2 pitch. Count goes full. Pretty special blend in that clubhouse, in this clubhouse currently. The veteran players, star players, the young guys who seem so comfortable so quickly. It's a credit to the leaders. Payoff pitch coming to Will Smith. Flied weakly into shallow center. McMahon's going out. Makes the catch in the palm of his glove and whips it back in before Taylor can advance. Not an easy play. Good one by McMahon. 2 gone.
I think Will Smith broke another bat. And McMahon here, as you have to go backwards, you get on your heels. And the heels are not real good stabilizers for the eyes. And that's why that one hits the palm of the glove. When it's in front of you and you can stay on the balls of your feet, you keep your balance, your eyes have the shock absorbers, and you see it clearly. When all of a sudden a ball makes you go backwards into your heels, it gets really hard.
Here's Locks with 2 out. Drove in a run with a broken bat, base hit into center field. His last time up is his first hit of the homestand. Talking about all these guys and the other sports they're playing growing up. Gavin's mom wanted him to be exposed to everything and then let him choose. So basketball and soccer in addition to baseball. A little bit of swimming, even some gymnastics for Gavin as a kid. Didn't take long though before he picked one. He was 6. He walks up to his mom and said, "Mom, can we stop with the swimming and the gymnastics and all this extra stuff? My heart's in the shape of a baseball."
That's a great line.
And she had to play it cool, but Mom's from a baseball family, and she was hoping all along that that would be his choice. She just wanted him to make that choice for himself. On 2-1, Lux takes high, ball 3. Full count.
Racine pretty much might have to take one for the team here. It might take him to 80 pitches, 90 pitches, just so it doesn't hurt the bullpen for the rest of the series.
On a payoff, Lux swings through it, strike 3, and the inning comes to an end. But the Dodgers add on and lead it 6-0 after 4. World champion Dodger baseball on Sportsnet LA is brought to you by your Southern California Toyota dealers. Find great ways to save on a bold new Camry at the We Make It Easy sales event. And by Mercury Insurance. Low rates, big discounts, great insurance. Corey Seager's got one of the 3 Dodger home runs tonight. Seager, Taylor, and Betts. And a 6-0 lead as this game moves along to the 5th. The only hit against Trevor Bauer, by the way, was that little infield single that traveled, what, 40 feet?
And he had a chance. He went over there and slid and got it in his bare hand. Just made a off-balance throw over the head of Muncy. And it was graded a hit, and I think it was graded accurately.
A lot of opinions about Trevor Bauer coming into the season and, you know, how real last year was as Tom Hallion just getting the gear checked, all of it. Anyways,
he got caught with his pants down.
He literally did. You know, Bauer last season wins the Cy Young, but it's all in the Central. And you look at it and say, well, the Central was not good, so how real was it? We've seen him now for 3 starts. He looks really good. And bottom line, he's a lot of fun to watch pitch. He's a lot of fun to watch play baseball.
Yeah, the intensity there, and he's got some rare celebrations that you don't normally see from pitchers. It is a fun gentleman to watch pitch, and it's going to be a fun year and hopefully a few years with him.
3-year contract, but unique in that he's got an opt-out after each season. was something that he said years back that he wanted to do. He wanted to sign nothing but one-year contracts. One of the main reasons is so he can always pitch for a contender. He can choose to be on a team that he knows is going to be in it. The Hart High School product. Santa Clarita, about 30 miles away. Down the 5 to Los Angeles. His dad Warren, his mom Kathy. Easy trip down to watch him pitch here. First one to Josh Fuentes is on the outside corner, strike one. His dad's a former chemical engineer that eventually started. How about this? He goes from being a chemical engineer to starting his own custom door and furniture company. He's retired from that. Now he works as a pitching instructor. Soft ground ball to Seager at short. Fuentes hustling down there, but the throw beats him one away. He works at the place that Trevor got his start, the throw zone in Santa Clarita. For a guy named Jim Wagner, who was one of Trevor's first pitching coaches. But now Warren Bauer teaching other kids some of the things that he helped teach Trevor. Here's Diaz with one out. Mom Kathy, retired court reporter, manages some land, some property now. A wild chase, strike one. And Trevor says that he owes a lot to his parents, and the number one thing that he owes to them is that they raised him to think for himself, not to settle for conventional wisdom, not to conform. Just be you, they taught him. Grounded off him. That goes 1-6-3.
Seeing Clayton Kershaw catch it between his legs, behind his back. Trevor attempts it right there and gets some leather on it. Fortunately, didn't get too much leather on it, so it just slows it down a little bit, makes it a little easier for Corey Seager to range to his left and get the assist. 1-6-3 is usually a double play, but this one records one out.
Chassin hitting for himself, taking ball one. One.
Trevor had a rough in the second inning, rough pitch count, rough inning. No score in it, but it was because he was about 50-50 on strikes that inning. The rest of the game, he has been at about 75% strikes. And right here with that last call, that was helpful.
Curve, did he go? You bet he did. That is an 8-pitch fifth inning for Trevor Bauer. The Dodgers 6, the Rockies nothing, and halfway home in LA. Sebastian is our junior Dodger of the game tonight. Sebastian is from Chino Hills. His favorite player is Max Muncy. You can join Junior Dodgers for a chance to be the junior Dodger of the game. Go to Dodgers.com/JRDodgers. Muncy part of a offensive onslaught tonight. 6 runs on 7 hits and 4 walks over the first 4 innings.
Dodgers have brought out the power stroke. There have been nights when they've only gotten 4 or 5 hits and still figured out how to win with great pitching. Tonight they're getting both. The whole lineup is hitting for power, and they're also getting great pitching.
Bottom third of the lineup, Pollock, Rios, and Bauer coming up. Cross up, that kind of night.
Cross up to the point where that could have been a strike if he would have caught it properly and kind of eased it into the glove.
One ball, one strike. So 117 pitches now through 4+. Pitch by pitch tracking only goes back to 2000. The record for pitches in a 9-inning game back to 2000 again is 252 that one team threw. Okay, so we got a ways to go to get to there. The Marlins threw 252 pitches in a 25-8 loss to the Red Sox in 2003. And the Orioles threw 252 pitches in a 30-3 nail biter in 07. So we got a ways to go before we get there.
This Dodger lineup's got a chance to take a shot at that record. Just because of their discipline. And it's throughout the whole lineup. And you know, they've got the ability to score 20+ runs on a given night. And do it with some deep counts.
That's 27 pitches an inning. A 2-2 to Pollock. And a bouncing ball to a charging Fuentes. He'll have to hurry. Good play by Josh Fuentes to get Pollock.
If they set that record, I hope I'm off that night.
We'll work the other 161, but somebody else can have that one.
Somebody else can have that 260 pitch night for one team. Just out, I think. I think the foot is it right above the bag? Ooh.
They're going to check, buddy.
Yeah. Need long spikes here. Wow. I like this. Yeah, this view. Safe.
Boom.
White out.
I'm using it. You can have it in a sec.
Okay.
There you go. The crowd's whiting it out right now. They just saw the replay.
Give it some white noise.
Yeah.
How long does it take you to white out to dry?
It's
pretty quick.
Yeah, but you can't be too aggressive with it.
Okay.
He's safe. Infield single for A.J. Pollock. Fine tip pen just cutting through it too. You gotta wait.
The challenges of this job.
It's a lot. Rios fly out and walk tonight.
He's looking to join the hit parade.
Rios and Will Smith, the only position players without a hit tonight.
They've all reached base safely. Those guys have walks. Trevor Bauer has not chimed in. He was bang bang in his last at bat at first base.
2-0. Yoli Chacin. That's ball 3 on Rios. It's a 3-game series between these teams. Gray and May tomorrow. John Gray for the Rockies, Dustin May for the Dodgers, and then Urias for the Dodgers and Gomber for the Rockies on Thursday. Strike one.
That could have been a controversial pitch. We would have had a nice discussion if he had a 3-0 green light with a 6-0 lead in the bottom of the 5th.
I kind of assumed that he wasn't swinging, but I think that is changing these days.
Yeah, that's right on the borderline of the culture.
Fernando Tatis last year, the grand slam that he hit on a 3-0 pitch. That's a bouncer that's going to make it a very tough play. No play. Couple infield singles to open this inning. Rios joins the hit party. Got 9 total.
Well, they're hitting them over the wall, and then they're hitting them right exactly where they need to. Back-to-back infield hits, and this just is salt in the wound right now to the Rockies.
Number 27, Trevor Bauer.
They've had some issues with the strike zone. They've had some issues with making some bad pitches and having them hit over the wall, and now they're having some issues with bleeders.
Bauer, first and second, nobody out. He squares around. pulls it back and takes a ball.
There are signals for the Butcher Boy play, and then there's just green lights. Like if they come too much, you don't have to.
It's a foul ball.
Off of his foot.
Little off the.
Did he hit the bat the second time?
Oh.
Wait, not. He's in the box. Does he hit his hand? Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's foul.
See if he tries it again here. 1 ball, 1 strike. 6-0 Dodgers. Scored in 3 of the 4 innings so far, and they're in business here in the 5th. Lays this one down. Diaz has it pop out of his hand like a wet bar of soap. He's able to get Bauer, but the runners advance.
Yep, just didn't be able to get it. He had a grip on it, but it looked like it was between his fingers and kind of slipped out.
Boy, it is a festive atmosphere in here tonight, isn't it? Really, from even before first pitch, there was like a build to the first pitch of the game like it was a postseason game. So many folks with so much pent-up energy, pent-up passion for this team, finally able to get back in here. 2nd and 3rd for Betts, who takes strike 1.
The season ticket holders had to kind of alternate which games they could come to because there's just not enough seats to have a season ticket. So many of the people here tonight, probably a large percentage, at their first game.
And you can feel it, and it's amazing. Tied him up there, 0-2. Chacin came on in the 3rd inning. Robert Stevenson has started to loosen. Dodgers in front 6-0, looking for their 4th consecutive win, trying to move to 9-2. Best record in baseball. And an 0-2 pitch. Betts checks his swing, ball 1. Mookie's got his 2nd home run of the year tonight. He's also grounded out twice. And just barely stayed alive here. Infield in as the 1-2 comes home. Betts. 2-2.
It was a strike. It just didn't get called.
Betts trying to make it hurt. 2nd and 3rd, 1 gone. 2-2 pitch. In the dirt, count goes full.
Everybody.
Hard enough to strike him out once. Trying to do it twice in 1 at bat. Pollock and Rios infield singles, advancing in the Bauer bunt. Chacin to Betts. 3-2 pitch. Got him swinging. It's only the 2nd strikeout of the year for Mookie Betts. 4 walks, now 2 Ks, and 2 away in the 5th.
He was all over it. He just missed it.
So now it's Seager. First base open, second and third, 2 out, 6-0 game. Seager has homered, doubled, and walked. Scoring 3 times. He's reached in 15 of his 19 plate appearances against Colorado. Roller to first, Crone to the bag, and that does it for the Dodgers in the 5th. They strand them at second and third, but lead by a bunch as we go to the 6th.
Friday on an all-new Backstage Dodgers, third baseman Justin Turner is mic'd up during the pregame World Series ring ceremony, and manager Dave Roberts is mic'd up during the Dodgers home opener against the Nationals. Don't miss Backstage Dodgers this Friday, presented by Cadillac.
Trevor Bauer has retired 8 straight since the only hit of the game. It was an infield single from Garrett Hampson, who's set to lead off this 6th inning. Bauer needed 28 pitches in the 2nd inning. The other 4 innings, he's averaged 11 pitches. First one of the 6th is inside, ball 1. That one's in there. Trevor has an obsessive personality, like a lot of probably pro athletes do.
What do you mean?
He's well,
go ahead.
With him, he says if he really boils it down, he thinks he's obsessed with acquiring new skills. Like that's his #1 thing. So besides the obvious in baseball, he's studied and learned a lot about math and science, physics, biomechanics, analytics. He taught himself how to build drones. Taught himself photography. Really into portraits. Taught himself video editing. Current obsession is product photography. That one misses high, and it's 2-2. Lots of audio books, YouTube instructional videos. He just loves learning new things.
That's quite a thirst.
Brings it 2-2 to Hampson. Spins down and away. The count goes full. Working on building a facility in Arizona. He's got a building there, and they're turning it into a hub basically for all things Trevor Bauer, for his business, his own pitching lab, and he got into product photography as he started to build that place. So he wanted to be able to show it off, and instead of hiring somebody to come do it, well, I'm going to do it myself. To the outside corner to get strike 3. Trevor Bauer with his 8th K. That is 28 strikeouts through 3 starts this year.
A cutter right there on the outside corner. Tom Hallion really gives it the heave-ho.
Oh, yeah. You're going to hurt an oblique.
If you're going to have a third strike call like that, you better stretch before the game.
Ryan McMahon flies the first pitch to left center field. Taylor and Pollock. Taylor the call and the catch.
Have you stocked up on your new World Series champions gear yet? The Top of the Park store is now open Tuesday through Saturday at Dodger Stadium. See Instagram at Dodgers Top of the Park for store hours and details on how to get home delivery or buy it right there.
Here's Trevor Story, all-star shortstop, who, if he wasn't playing baseball, says he'd be a firefighter. His dad's a firefighter, and he used to tag along to the station. Fell in love with the environment there. Swings and misses at the first one from Trevor Bauer, who has struck him out both times tonight. No balls, 1 strike. Grew up in Irving, Texas. One. 85th pitch coming from Bauer. It was pitched into the 7th in each of his first 2 starts. It's ahead 1-2. He's gotten a ton of chase from Story tonight. His Story's gotten better through the years. You've seen less and less of that. But Bauer's bringing out some old demons. One-two pitch. Bouncing ball left side. Seager's there. A 1-2-3-6 for Trevor Bauer. To the bottom of the 6th we go. 6-0. It's the last pitch of last inning. Trevor Bauer, for the first time I think in the regular season, goes to the one eye. He tells him it's coming. He gets him to ground out. What do you got?
I would lose my balance on the mound. I'd fall over, I think, if I closed my one eye. I blink with the right eye.
Okay.
So, and I'm left eye dominant. Yep, I could do it, I guess, but never tried it.
No, not many have.
Do not try this at home.
I mean, it's something he does. He's talked about in his training, differential training, trying to make practice harder than the game, but when you actually take it into the game. And he says that there is a reason for it, that he's just not quite ready to reveal his process and his reasoning.
You could do it, but I want to find out why he's pointing at his eye. Is he like kind of rubbing it into Story that, watch, I'm going to get you out with one eye?
There's plenty of showman in him. I don't think he's bashful about that, so could be part of it. Robert Stevenson comes into the game for the Rockies. Yep, I go back to what I said earlier, though. He is just a ton of fun to watch pitch.
Oh,
I mean, he's effective and he's fun. You don't know what you're going to get. He's given up just 1 hit tonight, striking out 8. He's got 28 Ks through 3 starts this year. Strike 1 from Stevenson to Chris Taylor. There's a home run and a single tonight. .98, cut on a miss, 0-2.
Stevenson's fastball usually only averages around 95. Had some giddy up.
Bauer's old Reds teammate. Delivering an 0-2 that Taylor will hit foul. And it stays no balls and 2 strikes.
Speaking of huge jumps in velocity, the other night, Kenley Jansen. Wow. I mean, Dodger fans, if you didn't hear about it or see it, he went from somebody who was averaging around 90, 91 to averaging around 94. He felt like after 1 or 2 pitches in the outing that his mechanics were all synced up.
It's going to be a long throw from Fuentes, and he got him. Josh Fuentes from the corner of the diamond throws out a speedy runner in Chris Taylor.
First baseman number 13, Max Muncy.
It's a lot like his cousin Nolan Arenado. Got the feet screwed up a little bit there, but boy, what an accurate throw from the sidearm delivery.
Brings up Muncy in a 6-0 game with 1 away here in the 8th. Boy, that's some stuff. 98, 99 with movement. High drive, right center field. Max Muncy joins the home run party. Way gone to center field. It's 7-0, the fourth home run tonight.
Max didn't break out the smile until he got to about the on-deck circle, but he knew he hit this one a long way. 96 mile an hour going in. I don't know what going out, but it's definitely over 100 miles an hour.
107. Will Smith now takes ball one. Anything 95 and above is considered hard hit. Major League averages in the high 80s for batted balls. That was 107 now for the bat of Muncy.
That's where Mookie Betts started the game at 107 to Trevor Story at short. Now he's sitting next to the guy who went 107 dead central.
Chopper to third. Fuentes, kind of an awkward dig out of the glove. He's still able to get it over there in time. And Smith remains the only Dodger starter without a base hit tonight.
Bang, bang. I'm sure the Dodgers will look at it, but we'll see if they want the umpires to look at it. Fuentes couldn't get it out of his glove the first attempt. That's why he's down there kind of adjusting his hat and rolling his eyes at himself. Can't get the grip. Finally does.
I think the question may be, does Cron keep his foot on the bag?
I'm saying keep playing, so the Dodgers are going to let it go, but let's take a look at it here.
Yeah. Two outs, and up comes Gavin Lux. RBI single back in the third inning. Dodgers got 2 in the first tonight. They got 3 in the third, 1 in the fourth, and 1 more here in the sixth. One and two. Went around. Strike 3, inning over, but the Dodgers get their 4th home run tonight. They had 10 over the first 10 games. They've got 4 solo shots in this one. The latest from Max Muncy. 7-0 after 6. World Champion Dodger Baseball on Sportsnet LA is brought to you by Morongo Casino Resort and Spa, the newest, friendliest, and safest casino resort. Good times. Trevor Bauer tonight, 9 Ks or 8 Ks, and make that 28 Ks over his first 3 starts. Here he goes into the 7th. His 87th pitch tonight is ball 1 on Charlie Blackmon.
He's using all the tools. Got a couple fastball strikeouts. Got 3 with the cutter, 2 with the curveball, and 1 with the slider.
This has been the inning for him, though, where he's had issues. 5 of the 6 runs he's allowed this year have come in the 7th. Ahead of Blackman, 1-2. He took a no-hitter into the 7th inning against these Rockies in his Dodger debut before giving up 4 in the 7th inning. That included a Blackman home run. Takes a 1-hitter into the 7th tonight. Swing and a miss and a breaking ball. 9 Ks for Bauer.
One more strikeout for the Dodgers, and we get to the Jumbo
Jack. Jumbo Jack.
That's right.
Yeah. It's 12 in a row retired by Bauer.
The way we said it, it's like a combo.
That's right. C.J. Cron walking a flyout. Tell you what, it'd be getting really interesting now with the pitch count where it is. If he had the no-hitter going, if he hadn't given up the infield single, Dave Roberts would be in a tough spot. Quickly 0-2.
He's locked in out there, and it looks like he's almost motivating himself because he got a 7-run lead and he's trying to find ways to stay intense. That deep breath and that stare right now is like he's in a 1-0 game.
Lofted down the right field line. Betts moving over near the sidewall. Makes the catch and braces himself.
Not your favorite place for a guy that is your star right fielder, one of the best players in the game, and has been out for a little while with a sore back. You don't want him to go crashing into that wall. Mookie does a nice job of recording the out with a little self-preservation.
Subtle athleticism right there. Look at this friend over there. Justin Turner looking like maybe it's actually Turner. He's not in the lineup today. 2 gone in the 7th inning. Trevor Bauer's retired 13 straight. Here he comes to Raimel Tapia, ball 1. You know, Trevor Bauer has, out of his 24 innings pitched this year, given up no hits in 20 of them. One and 1. And he shows no signs of slowing at this point at 95 pitches. The only hit an infield single from Garrett Hampson, where he just beat Bauer's throw. One and 2. His Dodger Stadium debut as a Dodger. David Price warming in the bullpen. Bauer to Tapia with a 1-2. Late swing and a foul. 10 Ks at Colorado, 10 Ks at Oakland. He's got 9 tonight, and he's got 2 strikes on Tapia. Double-digit strikeouts in half his starts as a Cy Young winner last year. Nods with a sign from Smith. Here he comes with another 1-2. Ball 2.
One of the bigger reactions you'll see him have right there after that miss. Got out of his rhythm. Mechanics kind of broke down and just had to take a little walk and scold himself and get back in it.
Try it again on this 2-2 pitch. Climbs the ladder, flied to left. Pollock is there. Trevor Bauer retires 14 straight. We stretch in a 7-0 game. Fan of the game tonight presented by Pacifico. Bertha And we'd love to know who's with Bertha, but we just got Bertha's name here. She's our fan of the game. Love the T-shirt. Time of the sorta. Do we have Oral on there too? I think we do.
Me and Gibby. That's the follow-through of the famous home run in '88 game one off of Dennis Eckersley.
So Bertha's Dodgers are in front 7-0. Out hitting the Rockies 10-1 as this game goes to the bottom of the 7th. A.J. Pollock leads it off. Robert Stevenson starts him with a breaking pitch for strike one. Pollock 1 for 3 tonight. Everybody's got a hit besides Will Smith out of the starting position players. Third time Pollock's led off an inning. Towering pop-up. At first, Crone.
Dodgers single game tickets for the month of April are on sale now. Visit Dodgers.com/tickets to purchase. We can't wait to see you back here at Dodger Stadium. It has been fantastic to have fans back.
We looked at each other before the game even began, right after the national anthem, and said, my gosh, feels like gosh dang World Series in here, just compared to what it felt like in the empty ballparks last year. Here's Rios with one out. Takes a ball. It was weird then. It's even weirder looking back on it now that we have the comparison, right? You got a little bit used to it just out of survival mode. The players would say the same thing last year. Kind of numbed yourself to the lack of crowd, the lack of energy. Rios in the air to center, but Hampson will have plenty of room to put it away. 2 gone. And Beatty's going to pinch hit here, officially ending the game for Trevor Bauer. Another fantastic outing for him. And this time he was able to finish off with a scoreless 7. So 7 shutout innings, 9 Ks, 29 Ks in his first 3 starts.
Number 45.
One little infield single that he had a shot at with Dave Roberts, and he would have been having some conversations about.
It would have been fascinating, right? Because high 90s is what he's at through 7. That would have been tough.
And knowing Trevor's mind, he's going to probably go over that scenario with Dave and Mark Pryor. Like, okay, let's just say I made that play. Where are we on this pitch count thing?
Let's get everything out in the clear here. This is the only hit of the game for the Rockies. A little swinging bunt from Hampson, and Bauer, right after telling the world that he considers himself the worst athlete in baseball, almost makes an incredible play on it. Good throw, might have had him.
It would have been bang bang. It's almost like a dress rehearsal for an 8th inning coming up with 100 pitches, and I've got a no-hitter going, Skip. Let's talk about it.
Right. Beatty looking for his first hit of the year. Only 6 at-bats.
And he's over there talking to Mark Pryor and maybe one of his other teammates, and you can just tell that the adrenaline's still going. You know, the mind's still clicking.
It's Connor McGinnis, assistant pitching coach. Two balls, 2 strikes on Beatty. You hear all about the mental side of it with Bauer, but don't you love to see him looking like Max Scherzer with a 7-0 lead and trying to dig through that 7th? The look in his eye. Full count.
This Dodger offense, the home runs, and they've really been hitting the fastball tonight. They're almost hitting 500 tonight off a fastball.
Chopped to short. There's Story. There's a 1-2-3 seventh for Robert Stevenson. Seven shutout innings from Trevor Bauer tonight. Just one hit, strikes out 9, and in position to win his Dodger Stadium debut, at least in the Dodger uniform. Who's in, who's out, brought to you by In-N-Out. So Bauer pitches his first game as a Dodger here. Now David Price about to do the same.
David's still trying to get his legs here in the Dodger uniform. Opted out last year. But this guy has a tremendous resume, understands how to work the baseball. He's just trying to find his mechanics and to be able to repeat them.
Some defensive changes around him. Matt Beatty, after pinch hitting, stays in and plays first. McKinstry's now at second. Lux moves over to short. Both Muncy and Seager come out. Price to Fuentes for the first pitch of the 8th. Strike 1. David Price received his World Series ring on Friday, but he's auctioning that off and donating the proceeds to the Players Alliance, which is a group of current and former black pro baseball players who are promoting the game in inner cities and with young African American kids. So 1-1 pitch. Fuentes fouls it off, 1-2.
He has a very generous and kind spirit. The donation to the minor league players in the Dodger organization before he even set foot on the field as a Dodger, and to take care of them when they weren't getting any paychecks. Gets a foul ball strike there, but you see the frown and the shake of the head. So he's evaluating himself on execution, not on results. It's a game of percentages.
Got him with a changeup.
Still a little upset with the execution on this pitch, but the results are fine. A little change up. But ends up about 6 inches off the edge of the plate.
You know what that is?
It's jumbo jack time.
Yeah, it is. 10 strikeouts. Purchase of a large drink. LA area restaurants. One gone in the 8th inning. Here's Elias Diaz. And there's strike 1. David Price out of Murfreesboro, Tennessee. 35 miles from Nashville. Town of about 125,000 people. Dead center geographically in Tennessee. And a local legend there. Line drive to left. A.J. Pollock, 2 gone. Went to Blackman High School. He had a 0.43 ERA. He pitched 3 no-hitters there. He had another where he was pulled after 9 no-hit innings in a 0-0 game. He was the 2-time state player of the year. So dominant that the Tennessee High School Athletic Association changed its schedule format. The David Price rule, they called it. So it kept teams from playing a team throughout the year to 3-game weekend series, because he would face a team every time if it wasn't the 3-game weekend series, and he'd just dominate you every time. So they shifted the whole schedule format just because he was making kids look bad. And a lot of Murfreesboro residents will still tell you their favorite team is whatever team David's pitching for. A lot of Dodger fans in Murfreesboro right now. Jonathan Daza behind quickly 0-2. Got him on the outside corner. David Price with his best inning of the young season. Bookend K's on a 1-2-3-8.
Four home runs tonight for the Dodgers, including the first for Mookie Betts in front of the home fans.
Mookie was outstanding. How about Trevor Bauer? Outstanding performance.
One eye open, one eye closed.
Looking for their third shutout in their last 4 games. We'll see you right here.
All right, guys, on Access Sportsnet Dodgers, presented by your Southern California Ford dealers. Ben Bowden comes on to pitch, the lone left-hander out of the Rockies bullpen in a 7-0 game in the bottom of the 8th inning. Jonathan Daza, after pinch hitting, stays in and plays right. And Alan Trejo, the local guy, a couple of years at Cathedral High School, just down the hill from Dodger Stadium. Made his big league debut a couple days ago in San Francisco. Now here he is, but a mile from where he played his high school ball as a sophomore and a junior, playing at Dodger Stadium for the Rockies. Top of the order for LA, Mookie Betts, who's got one of the 4 home runs tonight. Swings at the first pitch. It's a high fly ball to left field for Raimel Tapia. For Bowden, 1 pitch, 1 out. That's another Vanderbilt guy in the game, and Ben Bowden. Yeah, David Price pitching the top of this inning. Bowden, who made his major league debut earlier this season, one of 17 active players in the majors from Vanderbilt.
Number 8, Zach McKinstry.
And he'll face the pinch hitting Zach McKinstry. Not a pinch hitting, but making his first debut. He came on defensively in the top of this inning. Leading the team with those 10 RBIs. Top 10 in the National League in slugging. Just like we all saw coming, right? Man.
He's making a splash. Strike zone sometimes gets a little bit more liberal when you get into a 7-0 game in these late innings.
Line to second, caught by McMahon. Lefty on lefty, and he's still able to pummel a line drive. 2 out.
Impressive.
Very impressive. 3, Chris Taylor.
Dave Roberts said plan right now is for Mookie Betts to play a couple games in this series and then maybe have one more day off for the final game of the series. McKinstry could find himself back in there then. Then the hope is Cody Bellinger returns on Friday, the start of the San Diego series. Dave Roberts may have to work to find ways to get McKinstry in there. It's a good problem to have. As Taylor takes the ball.
You might see him get some reps in left field and some righties.
Speaking of the Padres, tough day for them. Blake Snell didn't make it out of the first inning. in an 8-4 loss to the Pirates. And Will Myers left the game with an injury. Myers is off to a great start, reaching all 11 games prior to tonight. Padres had won their first 4 games on the road trip.
Well, we're really not going to know how severe Tatis Jr.'s shoulder is until they're trying to rehab it and come back. But we'll see how long it can hold up.
He too is eligible to come off for this weekend series.
Sports Talk Radio had him coming back. At least that's the projection.
2-2.
Those guys are always right.
For sure. They're laughing and smiling right along with you, though, when you say that.
Exactly. Well, we can only impart what we find out from internal sources, and a lot of times that's not the most accurate information either.
Full count on Taylor. Scott Alexander getting ready for the 9th inning. Dodgers and Padres starting things on Friday night down in San Diego. First of 3 this weekend. First of 7 in a 10-day span. And first of 19 this year.
The more you watch this Dodger team play and win the World Championship and then come into spring training with the work ethic they had there, and now the way they've started this season, I've kind of anticipated like certain trap games or trap series. They just power right through it. They do not change.
Taylor looks at strike 3 here. That sends this game to the 9th inning. Dodgers by a touchdown and an extra point. Nissan calendar, a little closer look at what we were talking about. 2 more with the Rockies. 3-game series down in San Diego beginning on Friday. Then they head up to Seattle to take on the Mariners for a couple quick ones. And it's the Padres again back here at Dodger Stadium. Thursday, the final game of this series will be Jackie Robinson Day. Always special across baseball, but extra special here at Dodger Stadium. And of course, everybody will wear 42 as we remember Jackie Robinson and honor his impact on the game and on our country. Scott Alexander for the 9th inning with the Dodgers up 7-0.
Leading off the 9th inning, center fielder number 1.
7-0 scoreboard. It gives Dave Roberts some chance to get Scott Alexander some more work.
Luke Raley into the game defensively. He's in right. Really enjoyed listening to Luke visit with the pregame show today. He's loving every second of this opportunity he gets, making his major league debut on opening day. Found out that he was active 20 minutes before the ring ceremony. Said he had just a few minutes to let his parents know that they should definitely turn the game on because he might play. He might make his big league debut, and sure enough, he did. Top of the order for Alexander, Garrett Hampson. Strike 1. Hampson has the only hit tonight for the Rockies, an infield single. Back in the 3rd inning. Oh, 0-2.
Rockies with only 4 runs in their last 4 games, if you include this game, and only 22 hits in those 4 games. Coming off a tough series against the Giants, and now the Dodgers are putting it to them.
Giants won again tonight. They trailed early on against Cincinnati, came back and won. So their 4th consecutive win. Dodgers won't see them until May.
How about the Red Sox?
Yeah.
Oh, they won 7 in a row.
One in the snow today in Minnesota.
Didn't expect them to get off to a hot start.
Because they didn't. Well, they're like 0-4, 0-3, and won 7 straight since. Another 0-2 pitch.
After tonight, Dodgers are going to take a commanding lead, not only with the best record in baseball, but in the run differential. They're at a +30. Some domination.
Hampson to the right side base hit, so he's got both Rockies hits tonight. And the leadoff man is on here in the 9th.
Second baseman number 24, Ryan McMahon.
Just reaches out and pokes a good sinking fastball away. That's about the only place you can hit that pitch and try and hit it hard.
So now it's McMahon. Arizona lost again today. They're now 4-8. The A's beat them 7-5. And by the way, the A's have now won 5 of 6. Starting with the win over the Dodgers in the final game of that series last week. They went in and swept the Houston Astros. Or they lost the first one, then won the last 2, and then swept Arizona. Good pitch, 1-2.
When his two-seamer is on the plate, it just goes straight down. It's really hard. Where the hitters get an eye on him is when it gets elevated and it doesn't really sink. It just has a little tail to it. But if he can live down on the plate, down by the knees, the ball has tremendous action.
Slider this time, taken in the dirt, 2-2. Full count. On the old modern day quarterback, the self-professed worst quarterback in modern day history. I'm sure that's a little much. He had even some Division I football offers. Swings and misses. Here is the first out of the 9th inning. Matt Leinart, Barkley, JT Daniels, Bryce Young, all out of modern day.
Shortstop number 13, Alan Trejo.
So he could have been really good and still be the worst guy they've had in a while. Hey, Alan Trejo coming up to bat. The player we talked about last inning when he came in defensively, that spent 2 years of his high school career just down the hill from Dodger Stadium at Cathedral High School. Went to San Diego State. Made his big league debut over the weekend in San Francisco. Very good defender. Still trying to get the bat going. What a moment for him, though.
Yeah, we think about Trevor Bauer making his Dodger Stadium debut, and now you get this young man. It's some special events going on here.
Rolls one to first. Beatty goes to second. One over to first. Double play to end the night. The Dodgers' third shutout in their last 4 games. They hit 4 home runs and win 7-0.
Beatty to McKinstry to Alexander, just the way you draw it up.
They get 4 home runs. They get a great outing from Bauer, who gives up just an infield single while striking out 9. And they are a major league best 9-2. That'll do it from Dodger Stadium tonight. For Orr Hershiser, Kirsten Watson, and the rest of our crew, Joe Davis saying so long and Talk to you tomorrow night with Game 2. It'll be Dustin May for the Dodgers, John Gray for the Rockies. Stay tuned. Access Sportsnet Dodgers, presented by your Southern California Ford dealers, starts now.